What's up, Sigmas? Welcome to the most exclusive club in the world, the realm of Sigma males. If you're here, you're either already part of this elite breed, or you're about to get a taste of what makes Sigmas the most dangerous force walking this earth. And by dangerous, I don't mean the reckless, chaotic kind of dangerous. Nah, we're talking about a quiet, calculated, and absolutely lethal type of power that shakes things up without ever needing to shout. You feel me? So grab your seat, stay locked in, and get ready for an eye-opener on why Sigma males are the most dangerous breed of all. It's about to get real. While others are busy playing the game, Sigmas are the ones writing the rules. Let's dive into this. Picture this. You're in a field, a game of sorts. Everyone around you is playing by the same set of rules, following the same strategies. They're all striving to achieve the same things, to fit into the same mold. But there's one person who stands apart. That's your Sigma. Sigmas are the rule breakers, the game changers. They're the ones who aren't afraid to step back and say, "Hey, I don't like these rules. I'm going to make my own." And that, my friends, is where the magic happens. Take Elon Musk, for instance. Here's a man who looked at the existing rules of the automotive industry and said, "Nah, I'm going to do it differently." He created Tesla, an electric car company in a world dominated by fossil fuels. He didn't just change the rules. He wrote a whole new rule book. And he did the same with SpaceX in the space industry. Or consider Steve Jobs. He didn't play by the rules of the tech world. He didn't even play in the same field. He created his own game. From the way he ran his company to the way he designed his products, he was a Sigma through and through. These are the men who stand out, who make a difference. They're not interested in fitting into the structures society has set up. They're interested in creating something new, something unique. And that's what makes them so dangerous. Now, dangerous here doesn't mean harmful or destructive. On the contrary, it's incredibly constructive. It's dangerous in the sense that it disrupts the status quo. It shakes up the established order. It forces people to rethink their notions, their beliefs, their strategies. And that's scary for a lot of people. Sigmas are the ones who see a different path, a different way of doing things. They're the ones who don't just think outside the box. They live there. They're not afraid to question, to challenge, to disrupt. And that's what sets them apart. Think about it. If you're playing a game and someone comes along with a completely different strategy, a strategy that's not in the rule book, how do you counter that? You can't. You're playing checkers, and they're playing chess. You're simply not equipped to deal with them. And that's the power of Sigmas. They don't play by the rules because they're the ones writing them. They're not confined by societal norms or expectations. They're free to explore, to innovate, to create. And that's what makes them a force to be reckoned with. So, what's the takeaway here? It's not about trying to fit into a mold or play by a set of predetermined rules. It's about finding your own path, your own way of doing things. It's about not being afraid to question, to challenge, to disrupt. In the world of Sigmas, it's not about fitting in, but about creating your own path. You're not just a player in the game. You're the game master. And that, my friends, is what makes Sigmas the most dangerous breed of all. In the world where everyone is screaming for attention, Sigmas whisper and still get heard. That's right. It's a common misconception that to make a mark in this world, one has to be loud, brash, and constantly in the public eye. However, Sigma males beg to differ. They are the quiet observers, the silent doers, the ones who prefer to let their actions speak louder than their words. You see, Sigma males are like a silent storm. They may not make much noise, but they have a significant impact. They don't need to shout to be heard. They don't need to be seen to be noticed. Sigmas operate in a realm where their quiet demeanor and introspective nature become their most potent weapons. They thrive in the shadows, making silent moves that often go unnoticed until it's too late. Take, for example, the world of chess. A grandmaster doesn't announce every move he's about to make. He silently calculates, strategizes, and then, when the time is right, he makes his move. No fanfare, no drama, just a quiet, calculated action that can change the course of the game. That's a Sigma male's modus operandi. They're the grandmasters of life's chessboard, making moves in silence and striking when least expected. But it's not just about strategy. It's also about the power of introspection. Sigmas are known for their deep thought processes. They are often lost in their own world, contemplating ideas, strategizing plans, or simply observing the world around them. This introspective nature adds to their mysterious aura. They're like an enigma wrapped in a riddle, always making you wonder what they're thinking, what they're planning, what their next move would be. And this mystery isn't just intriguing, it's also intimidating, because you never really know what a Sigma is up to until they're ready to reveal it. They don't wear their hearts on their sleeves or broadcast their plans for everyone to see. Instead, they silently work behind the scenes, only revealing their hand when the time is right. This silent approach to life can often lead to surprising outcomes, as their moves are rarely anticipated. Consider the Sigma entrepreneur, for instance. He doesn't make a big show of his startup. There are no flashy launch parties, no grand announcements. He works silently, diligently, building his empire brick by brick. And then, one day, out of the blue, his company is suddenly the next big thing, catching everyone off guard. It's this quiet, steady approach to success that makes Sigma males so dangerous. They're the silent achievers, the ones who reach the finish line while others are still busy making noise. But remember, this silence isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's a sign of confidence. Sigmas don't need to shout from the rooftops because they know their worth. They know their capabilities. They don't need constant validation or attention. Their self-assurance comes from within, not from the approval of others. And it's this silent confidence that makes them so formidable. In a world that's always clamoring for attention, that's always trying to be the loudest, the flashiest, the most noticed, Sigma males stand apart. They're the silent storm, the quiet achievers, the ones who make a significant impact without making a sound. So, next time you're in a room full of loud voices, take a moment to look around. Look for the quiet ones, the ones who are observing, contemplating, silently making their moves. They're the Sigma males, the silent storm that's always brewing, always ready to strike. And as you navigate through this noisy world, remember this: it's not always the loudest who are the most powerful. Sometimes it's the quiet ones who make the most significant impact. Because in the world of Sigma males, silence isn't just golden. It's powerful. It's strategic. It's dangerous. So, remember, it's the silent ones you need to watch out for, because it's in the silence that the real storm brews. In the realm of predictability, Sigmas are the wild cards. Welcome to the world of the unpredictable, the enigmatic, the uncharted. This is where Sigmas thrive, and this trait, my friends, is not just a characteristic, it's a superpower. A Sigma male is like a river, always flowing, ever-changing, impossible to pin down. You can't predict the path of a river. One moment it might be a tranquil, lazy stream. The next it could be a rushing rapid. That's the essence of a Sigma. They keep you guessing, keep you on your toes. They're the masters of their own narrative, and they're not about to let anyone else dictate their storyline. Remember, Sigmas are not bound by societal expectations or norms. They're not tied down by the need to fit into a particular role or to adhere to a specific path. They're free to change direction, to explore new avenues, to push boundaries. This freedom, this unpredictability, is what makes them so difficult to control or manipulate. Take Steve Jobs, for example. He was a textbook Sigma. Jobs was known for his unpredictable nature, his refusal to conform, his tendency to zig when everyone else zagged. He was a visionary who saw opportunities where others saw obstacles, who dared to think different when others were content to follow the status quo. He was a wild card, and that made him a game changer. Jobs didn't follow a predictable path. He dropped out of college, traveled to India, experimented with psychedelic drugs. He was fired from his own company, only to return years later and bring it back from the brink of bankruptcy. He was unpredictable, and that's what made him so successful. Jobs once said, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower." Sigmas, like Jobs, are innovators. They're leaders, not followers. They're the ones who see a different path, who have the courage to take it, who change the world in the process. They don't just think outside the box, they throw the box away. But unpredictability isn't just about being different or taking risks. It's about maintaining autonomy. It's about keeping others guessing so that they can't control or manipulate you. It's about holding the reins of your own life, steering it in the direction you choose, not the one others expect you to take. In the world of chess, the most unpredictable player is often the most dangerous. They're the ones who keep their opponents guessing, who make moves that no one else sees coming. They're the ones who control the game, who dictate the pace, who hold all the power. That's the essence of a Sigma. They're the wild cards, the game changers, the ones who turn the tables when you least expect it. So how can you harness this superpower of unpredictability? How can you become a Sigma, a wild card, a game changer? It starts with embracing your individuality, with rejecting the status quo, with daring to be different. It requires courage, resilience, and a willingness to take risks. But most importantly, it requires a belief in yourself, in your ability to forge your own path, to make your own rules, to shape your own destiny. Being unpredictable isn't just a trait for Sigmas, it's their superpower. It's what sets them apart, what makes them unique, what makes them dangerous. It's what makes them Sigmas. So, embrace it, harness it, let it guide you on your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. And remember, in the realm of predictability, Sigmas are the wild cards. And wild cards, my friends, are the ones who change the game. In a world that thrives on social connections, Sigmas are the lone wolves. Now, let's not get confused here. By lone wolves, we don't mean the misunderstood outcasts or brooding anti-heroes often portrayed in movies. Nah, that's too cliché. We're talking about a breed of individuals who prefer solitude, not because they are rejected or shunned, but because they choose it. They embrace the quiet, the calm, the space to think and breathe without the constant chatter of the world around them. They're the masters of their own universe, not needing a pack to validate their existence or dictate their path. This might seem counterintuitive. After all, humans are social creatures, right? We're hardwired to seek companionship, to form bonds, to be part of a community. But Sigmas, they flip that script. They're not antisocial. They're selectively social. They value quality over quantity, depth over breadth. They'd rather have a few meaningful connections than 1,000 superficial ones. And that's not a weakness. It's a strength. Let's take a look at some real-life examples. Have you heard of Nikola Tesla, the brilliant inventor who gave us alternating current? He was a Sigma through and through. The man lived alone, worked alone, and preferred his own company over that of others. He once said, "The mind is sharper and keener in seclusion and uninterrupted solitude." Originality thrives in seclusion, free of outside influences beating upon us to cripple the creative mind. Or consider the legendary martial artist Bruce Lee. While he was certainly charismatic and could hold his own in social situations, he was known for his solitary training sessions and deep philosophical contemplations. He was a Sigma who understood that solitude is the soil in which genius is cultivated. These examples illustrate how the preference for solitude enables Sigmas to remain independent and self-reliant. They don't need a social circle to boost their ego or a crowd to hide in. They are comfortable in their own skin, in their own company. This makes them incredibly resilient and adaptable. When you're comfortable being alone, you're not easily swayed by the opinions of others. You are your own compass, your own North Star. But being a lone wolf isn't just about enjoying solitude. It's about being self-sufficient. Self-sufficiency is the ability to take care of oneself without needing assistance from others. For Sigmas, this goes beyond the physical aspect of providing for oneself. It also extends to mental and emotional self-sufficiency. They don't seek validation or approval from others. They validate themselves. They don't rely on others to make them happy. They create their own happiness. This level of self-sufficiency is intimidating to many because it upends the traditional power dynamics. A Sigma male's preference for solitude also allows them to focus on their personal growth and development. Without the distraction of constant socializing, they have more time to invest in their interests, passions, and skills. They can dive deep into whatever captivates them, becoming experts and innovators in their chosen fields. This intense focus and dedication can lead to extraordinary achievements that surprise and bewilder those around them. In conclusion, the lone wolf nature of Sigma males isn't about being a social outcast or an aloof recluse. It's about choosing solitude over superficial social connections, valuing self-sufficiency over dependency, and prioritizing personal growth over societal expectations. It's about being comfortable in one's own company and being one's own best friend. This is what makes Sigmas the most dangerous breed. They are the masters of their own destiny, independent, resilient, and fiercely self-reliant. Being a lone wolf isn't about isolation. It's about self-sufficiency and independence. So, what makes Sigma males the most dangerous breed, you may ask? Well, let's take a moment to recap the remarkable traits that make these individuals the enigmatic force they are. Firstly, Sigmas play by their own rules. They're not interested in the rat race or social ladders. Instead, they carve their own path, creating a world that suits them, not the other way around. They don't seek approval. They seek authenticity. And that kind of audacity, the courage to defy conventions and craft their own reality, is indeed a type of danger, a threat to societal norms and expectations. Then there's the silent storm. Sigmas aren't the loudest in the room, but they're often the most impactful. They work quietly, achieving their goals without fanfare or attention. Their actions speak louder than words, and they strike when least expected. This stealth and surprise, this ability to make significant moves without drawing attention, adds to their dangerous allure. Unpredictability is another hallmark of a Sigma. They're constantly evolving, always surprising, and never predictable. This fluidity keeps others on their toes, making Sigmas impossible to control or manipulate. They're the chess players in a world full of checkers, always thinking several moves ahead. And in a world that loves to categorize and predict, an unpredictable force is indeed dangerous. Finally, Sigmas are lone wolves. They thrive in solitude, drawing strength from their independence. They don't need a pack to validate their worth or to navigate their journey. This self-sufficiency is intimidating to many, as it challenges the common belief that we need others to succeed. In essence, Sigmas are proof that one can carve a unique path without needing the approval or support of a crowd. But let's be clear, the term dangerous here doesn't mean harmful or destructive. No, it signifies a threat to the status quo, a challenge to societal norms, a disruption to the usual order of things. And this disruption is often what's needed for progress and innovation. So, in that sense, Sigma males are a dangerous breed indeed. But remember, at the heart of the Sigma male's power is their unwavering individuality. They don't fit into boxes, and they don't try to. They embrace their uniqueness and use it as their strength. And that's the real takeaway here. In the end, it's not about being alpha, beta, or sigma. It's about embracing your individuality and living life on your own terms. That's the true power of a Sigma male.